My darlings. Today I have a story that sounds like it came straight out of a movie, but it really happened. Just imagine, a billionaire, caught in the rush of New York City, locks eyes with his ex-girlfriend. And right beside her, 3 little boys who look exactly like him. Coincidence? Fate? Or a long-buried secret about to explode? Astonished face emoji. Stay with us through this beautiful story until the very end. By the end, you'll understand why true love is never lost.
In the steel and glass labyrinth that is New York City, where success is measured in skyscrapers and fortunes, Ethan Walker reigns supreme. A king without a crown, perhaps, but a king nonetheless, in his realm of pixels and algorithms. His technology startup, a rising meteor in the firmament of innovation, was the fruit of years of sleepless nights, reheated coffees, and a voracious ambition that consumed everything in its wake. Rachel Adams was a phantom from that past, a bittersweet memory of a time when the future seemed less defined, yet, paradoxically, perhaps more promising. 5 years had blurred into an indistinct smudge on the canvas of his life. 5 years of meteoric ascent, of awards and accolades, of a burgeoning void he sought to fill with ever greater achievements. Love, family, the simple joy of genuine human connection, all had been relegated to a secondary role, sacrificed on the altar of success. And then, on a frigid November afternoon, while waiting for a car that seemed to perpetually elude him, his gaze encountered hers. Rachel at the bus stop, a mere few paces from where he felt so detached. And beside her, 3 boys. 3 blonde boys, with piercing blue eyes and a mischievous grin that struck him like a gut-wrenching punch. 3 boys who were, undeniably, miniature reflections of himself. The surprise rendered him immobile. Acrimony mingled with a prickle of guilt, a sudden acknowledgement of an unpaid debt. The world around him dissolved, the urban clamor fading to a distant hum. The sole reality was that scene, Rachel, the boys, and the implicit truth unfurling before his eyes. The approach was hesitant, almost involuntary. Each step a burden, each centimeter traversed, a tacit admission of something he had ignored for far too long. Rachel met his gaze with a mixture of surprise, resentment, and a profound sadness that he could sense, even from a distance. The words arrived as a whisper, barely perceptible amidst the urban cacophony. Sufficient, however, to validate what he already intuited. Ryan, Luke, the revelation struck him like a thunderbolt. The news that David, the youngest, suffered from a delicate heart condition added an extra layer of urgency and anxiety. A crushing wave of remorse washed over him. The squandered time, the missed opportunities, the denied fatherhood, all haunted him. His plea for a chance was genuine, desperate. An attempt at redemption, to rebuild what his unbridled ambition had demolished. A promise of presence, of making amends for his absence, of being the father he had never been. Weekend routines had become a sacred ritual. Zoo visits, park games, pizza nights, and movie nights. Small gestures, simple moments, yet imbued with profound significance. Gradually, he began to truly know his children, unearthing their distinct personalities, their anxieties, and their joys. Ryan, the elder, a perceptive and introspective soul. Luke, the boisterous one, perpetually eager for an escapade. David, the sensitive one, requiring constant attention and nurturing. Ethan's commitment was tangible, palpable. He threw himself wholeheartedly into this new role, mastering diaper changes, lunchbox preparations, tantrums, and the seemingly endless barrage of impossible questions. Gradually, the relentless billionaire yielded to a solicitous and present father. The job offer in Lisbon exploded onto the scene. Rachel, weary of the frenetic pace of New York life, saw this opportunity as a chance for a fresh start, a means of securing a brighter future for her children. However, the move entailed a painful separation from Ethan, disrupting the nascent reconciliation process that had been underway. The solution, audacious and improbable, emerged as a beacon of hope. Ethan volunteered to care for the boys while Rachel settled in Portugal. A testament to trust, a gesture of love, a gamble on the future. Ethan's hesitant and reluctant acceptance ushered in a new chapter, fraught with unforeseen responsibilities. Suddenly, he found himself the primary caregiver for 3 children, bereft of the usual support staff. His frenetic schedule of meetings and negotiations gave way to school schedules, homework assignments, and pediatrician appointments. The transformation was radical. The cold, impersonal mansion was transmuted into a haven, replete with toys, drawings, and laughter. Ethan mastered culinary arts, honed his sewing skills, cultivated the craft of storytelling, and truly embraced fatherhood. The boys, initially wary, gradually unfurled their hearts, fostering trust and affection for him. The spontaneous revelation of biological paternity during a video call sealed the fate of everyone involved. From that instant, the familial bond solidified, trust was cemented, and love became the driving force of this improbable family unit. The previously uncertain and nebulous future now presented itself with novel possibilities. Rachel, profoundly affected by Ethan's transformation and the well-being of her children, began to critically reassess her plans. The prospect of remaining in the United States, alternating seasons between Portugal and New York, and building a family life became increasingly compelling. The twins' first anniversary birthday party was a celebration of life, love, and family. Ethan, Rachel, their children, the grandparents, all gathered in one place, celebrating unity, overcoming adversity, and nurturing hope. A testament to the fact that, even amidst imperfections and challenges, love, commitment, and presence are the cornerstones that underpin genuine happiness. The billionaire, once consumed by professional ambition, had discovered his true triumph in the role of a loving and involved father. A king, after all, in his kingdom of hearts. Ethan, now fully immersed in the demands of full-time fatherhood, found the corporate world, with its spreadsheets and projections, an infinitely more predictable and controllable universe than the unpredictable nature of the three small human beings now reliant on him. The morning chaos, previously unthinkable in his meticulously organized life, had become the new norm. The relentless quest for lost socks, the fierce negotiation over which cereal would be breakfast champion, the epic struggle to brush David's teeth, all of this had transformed into a frenetic yet paradoxically incredibly rewarding ballet. However, this immersion extended beyond the mere logistical demands of daily life. Ethan found himself confronted with emotional challenges he had never anticipated. David's fragility, compounded by his heart condition, was a persistent source of anxiety. Ryan's, the eldest, doubts and insecurities compelled Ethan to reevaluate his own past experiences and question his choices. Luke's relentless energy, in turn, demanded a patience and a sense of humor he hadn't known he possessed. Furthermore, Rachel's absence, though temporary, cast a pall over everyone. The boys missed their mother deeply, and Ethan, despite his valiant efforts, understood that he could never truly supplant her. A delicate equilibrium was required, one that balanced the emotional needs of the children with the profound importance of Rachel's role in their lives. Ethan began to discern that fatherhood wasn't merely about provision and protection. It was about nurturing, inspiring, educating, and, above all, unconditionally loving. It was about being present, not just physically, but emotionally, offering a secure haven amidst life's tempestuous currents. While it may seem otherwise, this journey of self-discovery was not without its tribulations. Adapting to the new routine necessitated sacrifices and compromises. Ethan had to learn to delegate responsibilities within his company, to trust his colleagues, and to accept that not everything would remain within his sphere of control. The sleepless nights, formerly dedicated to work, were now filled with lullabies and bedtime stories. This transformation brought Ethan closer to his children in ways he'd never envisioned. Spontaneous dinner conversations, tight pre-sleep hugs, and shared moments of complicity during games all coalesced to forge a profound and unshakable bond. Ethan discovered that true wealth lay not in his bank account, but in the love and joy his children brought to his life. Importantly, one must consider how this transformative experience altered Ethan's perception of success. The ravenous ambition that had propelled him for years lost some of its luster. Professional recognition, while still significant, ceased to be his paramount concern. True success, he realized, lay in forging a cohesive and joyful family unit, in being a present and loving father, and in leaving a legacy of love and compassion. The seemingly harmonious family Ethan painstakingly cultivated was not impervious to the inherent complexities of parent-child dynamics, particularly under such unique circumstances. The abrupt role reversal where the once-distant tycoon became the primary caretaker of the triplets inevitably engendered unforeseen tensions and challenges. A crucial facet of this new reality resided in communication. Ethan, accustomed to concise and assertive discourse in the corporate world, found that dialogue with children demanded a wholly different language, patience, empathy, and, above all, the capacity for genuine listening. The art of translating children's anxieties, often expressed through gestures and inflections, into words that could be understood and addressed with sensitivity became a daily exercise. The issue of discipline proved a minefield. Ethan, raised within a rigid familial hierarchy, initially tended to impose rules and punishments based on his own experiences. However, he soon realized that this approach failed to yield the desired effect. The boys, lacking attention and affection, reacted with defiance and frustration. Consequently, Ethan learned the crucial importance of establishing clear and consistent boundaries, yet always grounded in dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect. Compounding this was the intricate individuality of each of the triplets. Ryan, the eldest, exhibited a heightened sensitivity and a proclivity for introspection, requiring a sanctuary to articulate his emotions and thoughts. Luke, the extroverted and adventurous one, demanded constant stimulation and opportunities to explore the world around him. David, the youngest, burdened by his heart condition, necessitated specialized care and unwavering attention to ensure his physical and emotional well-being. Ethan needed to tailor his approach to each child, acknowledging their unique needs and respecting their distinct personalities. This task, at times demanding, proved remarkably rewarding nonetheless. Observing the growth and development of his children, Ethan felt a pride and joy that surpassed any professional accomplishment he had previously known. Rachel's absence was particularly poignant at times. The boys, especially David, frequently voiced their longing for their mother's presence, inducing in Ethan a profound sense of helplessness and guilt. Consequently, he strived to maintain Rachel's tangible presence in their lives through daily video calls, the sending of photos and videos, and the sharing of stories and cherished memories. Despite the notable advancements in family dynamics, a persistent shadow lingered over the household, the uncertainty surrounding the future. The physical distance between Ethan and Rachel, though mitigated by technology, engendered a current of apprehension, a latent fear that the fragility of their arrangement might collapse at any moment. The issue of custody for the triplets, while not explicitly addressed, hung in the air like a sword of Damocles, reminding everyone of the provisional nature of their situation. Ethan began to contemplate the profound implications of parental responsibility, transcending the quotidian duties and venturing into the realm of decisions that would shape his children's future. The selection of schools, extracurricular activities, and the values to be instilled all became subjects of meticulous reflection and planning. However, Rachel's absence precluded unilateral decisions, necessitating a constant dialogue and a quest for consensus that proved elusive at times. Compounding the issue was the boys' struggle to adapt to the new circumstances. Despite Ethan's devoted efforts, they yearned for their mother's presence, the familiar family rhythms they had known for years. The pervasive longing, sometimes manifesting as unspoken tears or moments of irritability, served as a constant reminder of Rachel's indispensable role in their lives. Complementarily, Ethan felt compelled to reassess his priorities and values. The business world, which had once consumed him entirely, was losing its allure increasingly. Material achievements, previously synonymous with success, now seemed hollow and inconsequential in the face of the joy of seeing his children smile. The pursuit of a higher purpose, a legacy transcending the corporate world, became increasingly urgent. Ethan found himself grappling with the delicate balancing act between his personal and professional life. The demands of full-time fatherhood exacted a substantial toll on his time and energy. Harmonizing his corporate responsibilities with his familial obligations proved no easy feat, frequently resulting in periods of stress and frustration. This journey of self-discovery strengthened and transformed him. With each challenge overcome, each obstacle navigated, Ethan evolved into a more capable father, a more profoundly realized human being. The experience of fatherhood instilled in him an appreciation for the quotidian, a heightened sensitivity to the beauty of simple moments, and an unwavering love for his children. Ethan and Rachel's relationship evolved gradually and steadily. Paradoxically, the physical distance fostered a deeper reconnection, allowing them to transcend past grievances and forge a robust foundation for the future. Previously strained and formal telephone conversations became more intimate and revealing, enabling them to share their anxieties, aspirations, and dreams. Now, envision how this translates to the critical decisions surrounding your children's education, acknowledging the lasting impact your choices will have on their lives. How would you reconcile your own aspirations with your children's needs and desires? How would you navigate the pangs of longing and uncertainty while keeping the flame of hope ignited within their souls? Ethan's financial situation, while secure enough to ensure his children's future, presented a crucial consideration. He wrestled with the optimal method of instilling in them a profound understanding of hard work and responsibility. How could he prevent them from becoming spoiled and reliant? How could he cultivate in them a discerning and compassionate approach to managing resources? Furthermore, the relationship with Rachel, though strengthened by distance, was still imbued with uncertainties. Their future, both as a couple and as parents, remained nebulous. The prospect of reconciliation, while present in their thoughts, necessitated a rigorous assessment and a willingness to transcend the past grievances. Conversely, Ethan's family's influence, previously distant and apathetic, was beginning to manifest more actively. His parents, initially skeptical of his new life, exhibited a growing interest in participating in their grandchildren's daily routines. The reconciliation, though gradual and circumspect, held the promise of a more substantial and enduring familial support. Now, envision the complexity of reconciling your family's expectations with your own values and principles. How would you navigate the criticisms and judgments, remaining steadfast in your worldview? How would you instill in your children a respect for diverse perspectives without compromising your own core values? David's health demanded unwavering and intensified attention. The rigorous medical monitoring, specialized care, and constant concern for his physical and emotional well-being completely absorbed him. The existential uncertainty of the future, the potential for complications, and the fragility of life served as a poignant reminder of the imperative to cherish every moment and maximize the time he had with his children. Ethan's journey toward complete fatherhood proved a challenging and transformative odyssey. With each hurdle overcome, each lesson internalized, he evolved into a more capable father, a more fully realized human being, and a model of love and dedication for his children. The uncertainties of the future, once a source of anxiety, now served as an impetus to embrace the present with intensity and profound gratitude. Despite the burgeoning camaraderie between Ethan and the triplets, an emotional chasm persisted, echoing the past's void of absence and neglect. The familial restructuring, propelled by a genuine desire for redemption, stumbled against invisible scars, the vestiges of a time when professional achievement reigned supreme, relegating emotional bonds to a secondary plane. Trust, a cornerstone of any relationship, required constant reinforcement, daily demonstrations of commitment and sincerity. Ethan's dedicated personal assistant, Sophia, was assuming increasing prominence. A silent witness to the tycoon's transformation, Sophia became a haven for the triplets, a confidant who understood their anxieties and celebrated their achievements. With her astute perception and sensitivity, Sophia helped Ethan decipher the emotional codes of his children, providing invaluable insights into their needs and aspirations. Conversely, the dynamic between Ethan and his parents became significantly more intricate. The belated recognition of the grandparents' role, fueled by a burgeoning admiration for their grandchildren, stood in stark contrast to the prior history of detachment and veiled criticisms. While welcome, this acceptance was accompanied by expectations and judgments, thereby testing Ethan's patience and his ability to establish healthy boundaries. Compounding this was the challenge of balancing social life with parental responsibilities. Invitations to events and dinners, once commonplace, became increasingly infrequent, yielding ground to family activities and school commitments. Adapting to this new reality demanded sacrifices and a reevaluation of priorities, putting Ethan's identity as a prominent and sought-after businessman into question. Now, imagine the complexity of navigating the tumultuous waters of adolescence, armed only with the limited experience of your own youth. How would you guide your children through a labyrinth of hormones, insecurities, and social pressures without imposing your own beliefs and values? How would you prepare them for the challenges of the modern world without depriving them of the freedom to experiment and learn from their own missteps? David's health, a persistent beacon, illuminated the fragility of life and the imperative to savor each moment. Medical appointments, examinations, and specialized care became a relentless routine, demanding discipline and the capacity to navigate uncertainty. With each of David's smiles, each display of vitality, Ethan renewed his pledge to protect and love him unconditionally. Furthermore, Rachel's influence, even remotely, remained crucial. Telephonic dialogues, text exchanges, and infrequent visits constituted precious moments, fortifying familial bonds and reaffirming mutual dedication to the twins' well-being. Establishing a robust and enduring parental partnership, predicated upon respect, trust, and open communication, became paramount. Analogously, the pursuit of a higher purpose, a legacy that transcended material success, propelled Ethan to invest in social projects and philanthropic causes. Paternity had sensitized him to the needs of others, awakening in him a genuine desire to effect positive change in the world. With each donation, each act of generosity, Ethan instilled in his children the importance of empathy and compassion. Ethan's journey toward full parenthood unfolded as a complex and multifaceted odyssey, replete with challenges, lessons learned, and moments of profound transformation. With each step, he drew closer to his true self, uncovering the beauty and intricacies of family life and the transformative power of unconditional love. However, as we weave together the threads that have constructed this narrative thus far, we discern that Ethan's story transcends the simple transformation of a tycoon into a father. It subtly resonates with broader questions concerning what we truly value and ultimately what defines a life well lived. It is not merely a matter of tallying financial achievements or professional accolades, but of gauging the impact we have on the lives of those around us and the legacy we bequeath to future generations. In this vein, Ethan's journey compels us to contemplate the fragility of our certainties and the importance of remaining receptive to unforeseen shifts. Life, like a torrential river, rarely follows the course we envision. Detours, obstacles, and contingencies arise constantly, demanding of us flexibility, resilience, and the aptitude for adapting to evolving realities. True wisdom, therefore, lies not in controlling the current, but in learning to navigate its tumultuous waters, capitalizing on each opportunity for growth and learning. Observing Ethan's metamorphosis compels us to reassess our own priorities. In a society obsessed with achievement and the relentless pursuit of acquisition, we often neglect nurturing the bonds that truly matter: family, friendship, community. True wealth, as this narrative poignantly illustrates, resides not in bank accounts or material possessions, but in genuine human connections and the unconditional love we share with those dear to us. The twins' birthday party, a kaleidoscope of colors, sounds, and emotions, marked the close of this new chapter. It was not merely a celebration of another year of life, but a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the capacity to overcome adversity, and the power of building a future rooted in love and unity. The flickering candles, amidst the encroaching darkness, symbolized the enduring hope that persisted even in the gloomiest of times. Rachel, present in body and soul, exuded a serene happiness. The rancor of the past had dissipated, yielding to a profound sense of gratitude and admiration. The parental partnership, forged in the crucible of challenges, proved more resilient and enduring than she had ever imagined. The future, previously uncertain and hazy, now unfolded with infinite possibilities. The triplets, radiant in their innocence, epitomized the transformative power of love. Ryan, Luke, and David, each with their unique individuality, were living proof that family is not defined by blood ties, but rather by profound and enduring emotional connections. David's smile, in particular, served as a beacon of hope, a constant reminder of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing every moment. Ethan, once a man consumed by ambition, found true wealth in his children. Success, previously measured in figures and accomplishments, now manifested itself in the joy of a tight embrace, the complicity of a shared glance, and the certainty that he was walking the right path. Fatherhood, once perceived as a burden, transformed into the greatest adventure of his life. Contemplating this outcome, we are invited to reflect upon our own journeys. What kind of narrative are we crafting? What legacy do we aspire to bequeath to future generations? Undeniably, the answer lies in our capacity for introspection, in nurturing the connections that truly matter, and in living with authenticity and purpose. Thus, genuine practice commences now. It begins with the deliberate choice to prioritize love, compassion, and empathy in every action we undertake. It begins with the courage to confront our fears, overcome our challenges, and evolve into the best versions of ourselves. It begins with the certainty that, ultimately, what truly matters is the love we give and receive. For, as we well understand, life is a constantly evolving symphony, and each of us possesses the power to compose our own melody. May our music resonate with beauty, harmony, and, above all, love.